Now, this is the secret. The secret is in your follow up. It's not how well you can build rapport. It's not how well you can identify your customer. It's not how well you can identify their needs. I mean, all those things are important. It's not even how well you can sell and close the sale. The money that you are going to make is going to be directly related to how well you follow up. Now, I want to explain to you, and I want to drum it into your head. This is what you paid money for. This is what I'm teaching you now, or what I'm about to teach you is what you paid money for. If you don't remember anything else, if you don't implement anything else, make sure that this is one of the things that is the most important change that you make in your cake business. Your ability to follow up is what is going to get you your lifelong customers, is going to get you your referrals, is going to create a loyal customer base for you. But anyway, I'll not go ahead of myself. So I want to tell you about why you need to follow up. 80% of sales, 80% of the money that comes into your business is going to come as a result of your following up. Because most people do not buy at the very first moment that you offer them something, or the very first time they meet you, or the very first time they hear about you. Most people don't buy right at the beginning. Does not mean that they're not going to buy, does not mean they're not interested, but it is in the process of following up with them, in with all the things that you've learned about building rapport, having conversations, and getting to know people, getting to know what they want, and speaking to their needs, their goals and desires. All those wonderful things are wonderful, but then this is the practical side of your marketing. This is what you have to put into practice. This is what you have to put on your calendar. This is what you have to come back to time and time again. You have to follow up. And once you implement a follow-up system in your cake business or in your marketing plan, it's going to be like everything is going to just fall into place for you. Because the as they say, I'm sure you might have heard it said before, that the fortune is in the follow-up. It's been found, with research and everything, that people need between 7 and 12 touches before they actually buy from you. They need to hear from you or hear about you at least 7 to 12 times before they buy from you, or before they make the decision, or that kind of thing. So being able to have that in mind and know that it's an advantage, because you now know that just because somebody didn't buy from you the first day does not mean they're not going to buy from you another time. As well as knowing that there's some people that you need to implement this follow-up with, and you will eventually get the result. I'll tell you a story. Some of you might know me because I hosted one of the first international cake decorating tutors that came to the UK. Now, what you might not know about that is that when I wanted to have an international tutor come to teach in our cake school, I approached more than one person. So I approached Mike McCary, wonderful cake decorator. I approached the people that came to teach, and I approached Planet Cake. Now, the difference between my communication with Mike McCary and with Cake Lava when they came was 200 emails were exchanged between myself and the admin people at Cake Lava, and just 2 emails were exchanged between myself and Mike McCary. Now, that is a classic example of the power of following up. I mean, I didn't say to myself, I'm going to sit down and write 200 emails, but we wrote back and forth, sorting out things, sorting out the different aspects and answering questions, or what about this? What do you think about that? How are we going to do this? And then you write back and all those kinds of things, and you just keep the ball rolling, keep pushing the ball to the other side of the court, as they say, and just kept the thing going until the thing came to fruition. So it's not something I just woke up one day and it happened. But I'm just trying to explain to you that Mike McCary was willing to come, but he was like, oh, call me back, or email me back in so number of months, and I didn't follow up on that. I didn't follow up on that. Now, so this is the power of follow up, because people need to hear from you. The purpose of you following up with anybody, whether it's somebody that has bought from you before, or whether it's somebody that you would like to add to your client list, or whether it's somebody that you would like to give you referrals, or just somebody that you just want to develop a relationship with. The purpose of following up is that it builds trust and confidence. It will strengthen your relationships. It keeps you top of the mind, or front of the mind of whoever it is that you're following up with. So obviously, when they need a cake, it's you that they come to. And you know how it is. I'm sure a lot of you have had times when somebody gives you a call, a friend gives you a call and says, oh, somebody wanted a cake and I thought of you. Probably it would have been a friend. But then when you now are intentional about this kind of thing, where you build relationships with people, it keeps you in front of the mind of the people. It gets people to talk about you, and it builds that relationship. It increases your value. It helps you to stay connected, and it keeps your client base loyal to you. So it builds your reputation in that way. And so the benefits of obviously would be that you would get more referrals. Your customers will be more loyal. With every, as you build that relationship, the loyalty is built. So that has also been one of the main things that I'm trying to teach you here with this whole course, is that people are not loyal to products. People are loyal to people. People, when they're loyal to you, they will buy from you, whether they, even if they find that there's somebody else that's cheaper, even if they find that there's somebody else who is, or who you consider as more experienced, more beautiful cakes, more anything. But once you have that loyalty with somebody, they would always buy from you. So you cannot afford, I will say it again, you can't afford to compete by trying to be the most beautiful cake, or by trying to be the prettiest cake, or by trying to have the prettiest cakes. You have to compete on trying to be the one that has the strongest connections with, or the strongest bond with your customers. And this is the main thing. This is where you can actually make that happen for yourself. So over the past few years, probably like past 2.5 years or so, I've been learning a lot about marketing, and all the high tech things about building websites and mailing lists, and conversion rates and open rates, and all kinds of high tech things, like opt-in pages and all kinds of things. But at the end of the day, I found that I still came back full circle, and I discovered that everything revolves around relationships. So it's not how high tech you are, it is high touch. So your business, especially, and fortunately for us as cake decorators, we have the opportunity to have a real high touch business where our relationships, our high touch relationships, can be authentic. So don't worry about whether it's high tech. That's why I keep telling people that you can grow your business without having to have, you might not need it. You don't need a website. You don't need a you don't have to have a million fans on Facebook. You don't have to have any of those high tech things. Just by the power of relationships with people, and by you being able to follow up with them, being able to always be at the top of their mind, being able to show that you are there for them, you are there to serve them, you are actually able to put yourself, um stand out from others, make yourself, differentiate yourself rather from other cake decorators, just by this principle, just by putting this into practice, being the one that they always hear from. So that is the summary of why it's important to follow up. I'm also going to tell you about the three types of follow up, and I'm going to also give you some. We're going to go into the practical aspects, and eventually we will build a follow up calendar or a follow up workflow that you can use so that it will keep you organized and it will help you so that you can keep in touch with your people. Don't forget, I said make a list of 100 people that you want to be in touch with this month, as well as at least a dozen people, 12 people or 12 people or organizations, big fish in quotes, that you really want to make a connection with, whoever they are, wherever they are. You want to make a connection with 12 people, 12 people that are like almost unattainable, as long as they're in your city or close to you where you are able to serve them. Make a list of those 12. They could be organizations, they could be venues, they could be hotels, they could be specialized clubs or whatever. Just make that list, and that is what you're going to use to put into practice with your follow up.